Hello, my name is Surreal Lemming, and with us today again is my good friend Morgwai.
Hello everybody, nice to see you again.
Right, I've got another game for you today. This is an alpha version 50,000, nice round number, nice and easy. Thank you, Uber. Big change to this patch is a lot more variance and map support, as well as general balance changes and map generation changes. The metal points are quite significantly more easy to see, I suppose. So, but those are basic changes. Nothing real major has happened as of yet. But a couple of graphic changes.
And we don't expect anything really major for very long, do we?
No, actually. According to the forums, moons and other planets are likely to be about 2-3 weeks, maybe a month.
Wow, that's actually really fast. I'm quite impressed with that.
Here you go, the moons now got big craters on them as well.
Wow, that is really cool.
And they do have nice floaty squares now with moon circles as well.
Not sure I'm a fan of that, but I'll go with that for now. Now, you may have not noticed, viewers, at the very start there was an advisement of a possible agreement from the players regarding a no rush. And this is a basic kind of friendly agreement. Sometimes you can enforce it on servers in certain games, which doesn't allow the players really to attack the other players. It can also actually restrict how far they can expand a base in some, but sometimes it can just be hostile actions.
Yeah. We didn't really make a formal agreement on this. It's more of a gentleman's. Some people have asked for it, so I don't think that people are going to really push into it. So,
in all fairness, that's my favourite type of agreement.
Gentleman's agreement.
A gentleman's agreement.
Because it's easy to break.
No, how dare you, good sir? No, no, I think it's because we like the concept of a gentleman's agreement.
Well, the reason why everyone's asked for no rush is because they're fairly either new to the game or haven't really played much, or just wanted to build a bit, which is fair enough. I can get behind building a bit. There are technically 3 other players in the game. We've got blue, yellow, and white. Would you like to introduce our players for us?
We'll introduce the players. Let's see. Is that... I'm afraid you're going to have to do that topic.
Okay, right. In white, we've got High Tower 97.
In yellow, we've got Beervich.
Beervich. Sorry, we are horrible at announcing foreign names. It's your own fault. And in blue, we've got Camel Moocher. Which sounds incredibly dirty. Anyway, skipping over that. Again, standard opening as always. Metal, energy, metal into factory, then commander back into energy, and first bots into metal.
And I think what we're going to see throughout this game is a real understanding of just a different ideal behind the game. And again, you're going to point out through this that you're going to be thinking to yourself, well, you're not going to be able to do this once mass becomes strictly speaking on the points. But in fact, we disagree with that, don't we? We think, if anything, it's going to cause this to happen even more.
Yeah, like... I think that people, because you have to expand your bases so far to get mass, it means you're not going to be able to get the early units. And the way mass points are randomised in this, you're not going to guarantee to get your 4 mass points and the 4 outside ones with your 2 near your enemy like you do in Subcom.
No.
So, what I think is going to happen a lot more is people just building lots and lots of Tech 1 early bots, and just try and take as many as possible without being aggressive.
Now, I think that's going to make a really interesting micromanagement point, which they probably haven't thought into at this stage. Because I know that, let's use an example of StarCraft. If you're going greedy, if you're going to go for economy, this leaves you very open to early attacks.
Yes.
Yeah. And with the commander's firing speed and his movement speed, he can't be anywhere where he's literally not directly situated. Even within a 30-second combat time, he's not going that far.
Yeah.
And he, again, can only be in one place at one time. So you're going to have a lot of points that need to be defended over a lot of space very early on. Or you can push out very quickly and expand, get lots of bases, or in our case, lots of mass points.
Yeah. The tactics between the games are also going to be hugely dependent on the amount of players and the amount of planets in the solar system, because...
And whether you start on the same one.
Well, this is the thing. When you have more planets, it's assumed that you're going to be able to pick a starting location on a starting planet. Now, you could have the planet all to yourself. So early scouting in those sorts of situations is going to be highly, highly important, because if you do have the entire planet to yourself, you may as well just go pure recon, get every single metal point as quickly as possible, and then just build up.
Whereas if someone's on the planet with you, that's a different game then.
And as you'll quite soon see in this map, there are players quite close.
Now, that's one of the beauties of this, because I think there's going to be some controversy. And again, I'm metaing here. I'm thinking in the future, but we could see a position where you get that crucial moment in the very start of the game. Is this first building going to be an air factory to get an early scout of the entire planet, or is he going to risk it? And that one time that pro risks it, it's going to be beautiful when it all goes well.
Well, you see, I mean, I'm not pro. I'm not like a Grandmaster StarCraft 2 player or a 2,000 plus point on Forge of Lights Forever or anything like that. But from what I think, you could go for the early air factory quite happily, get a single scout out and just leave it for a time, because getting that scout out is so fast, you can get a very good overview. However, I think that people are going to be playing quite defensive while they don't know anything about the planet, and getting tech on radar really, really early on the very outskirts of their base, just to see if an enemy has a base near them. So if your enemy's base is really close and you get the jump on them, you've basically won the game.
Yeah, categorically. We've seen how powerful these early attacks can be if you're aware of your opponent.
And they're not aware of you, especially. Like, as you can see here, this guy's really close to me. Now, normally, as he is so close, I would just build Tech 1. Oh, actually, very quickly, you can't see the footprints of factories anymore.
Oh wow, that's brilliant. That's really good.
So they fixed that bug, which is great. But
it's nice though once you've seen it. So even if you see a corner, a pixel, or anything, you can jump in and out. That's really nice.
Yes, it is. It is. That brings me to my original point. That you just go about scouting, about hoping that they do stay on the map. So when you do scout over, you do still get a visual idea that there was something there when your scout dies.
And the reason we're saying skim scout or referring to doing it in and out is because it can be very easy on the minimap to not see a unit for a brief second or two. And if you can take a unit with a long view range or a fast speed and just look at a building just the edges of it, they might not spot you, and you've got them on the map for the rest of their life. Now obviously that doesn't come into effect with things like radar, but we're talking about a very early scout here, and therefore we're looking for a position where the enemy hasn't got radar up.
Or doesn't have in the right position as well.
Absolutely. And position is going to be really important in this game. Now I see a little bit of chat going on. What's happening?
I said hello to him, and now I'm asking whether we're trying to actively not kill each other at the start, because I could very easily think, take my commander to fabrication bots and completely destroy that base with a couple of turrets. No trouble. So
you want to know if you can attack.
I'm just being polite. And he says, right, so I just say, okay, I'm not going to build anything near you. You carry on building, I'll expand away.
Now, unfortunately, we were going for economy early on.
Yes.
I say unfortunately, that's unfortunately for them, not for us. And we are going to be pushing out here, really. And I don't mean pushing out in terms of buildings attacking or units attacking. I mean, you're going to basically take over the world.
Yeah, I think that the pinking the brain strategy is quite apt.
I was going to go with Mongol Horde.
Mongol Horde?
Mongol Horde myself.
But I don't... let's not touch that. Anyway. As you can see, I'm building a lot more mass than I need to, because I know that I can push out energy really, really quickly, but mass is quite a slow build process.
Okay.
So, building up lots more fabrication units and getting my advanced vehicle factory, I've got some air scouts on the go just to see what they've got, because if he's building a Tech 2 artillery pointed at my base, I've got no choice but to go and kill it, really.
Yeah.
It might be a bit tough until I get my advanced vehicle factory out, but again, because I play via build capacity and not via mass factories, I can switch over really quickly and say, okay, you three guys, you were building metal for future, but instead go and pump out Tech 2 tanks quicker for me.
Now, I think that one thing we should show in an upcoming game, and I don't know if you viewers want to agree with me here and drop us a comment, but I'm thinking of, we've seen some really great economy games, and it's something I know you can do. I'm really looking forward to a fast attack game. I want you to kill someone. I mean, how fast, assuming mid-level players, your basic average Joe on the server you've currently faced, how quick do you think you could do 3 players?
I think 3 players is really difficult, because you can take out 1 player pretty quickly.
Okay.
As long as you get the jump on him and you're in fairly close positions. However, the second player you might be able to push with Tech 1, but the third player, if he wasn't touched by the second player, he's going to have Tech 2 at that point, so you have to sit back and build up a bit.
Okay, well I think viewers will give him a chance. Okay, 2 players.
2 players.
You think you get 2 players for it?
That's dependent on position.
Just depending on position.
That is dependent on position. 1 player, however, I think you could probably take out in a 1v1 in a not too large generated map. I'd say about 8 minutes would probably be a good speed kill.
Okay. In the 4v4 map, with 3 players.
Well, all the maps at the moment are randomly generated, but the size is also partially randomised.
Right.
So they can actually go, like, this was a particularly large one, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, look, another base.
Uh-oh.
On the other side of me.
Uh-oh. These scouts were not as active as we would have liked.
I was scouting to Yellow's base, and then I wasn't expecting this. I just wasn't expecting it.
Fair enough.
And my commander scouted it while I was walking down there to build more energy out of the way. But it's okay, because he's got a radar, knows exactly what I'm doing, so... let's panic build some...
So the Great Wall of China goes up. Essentially that was, what, 7 turrets, 6 turrets there?
9, I think it was.
9 turrets.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were definitely allowing him no further access to your entire base.
Yeah.
I say entire base, but again, you're about, what are we nearly half the planet now?
It's getting there.
It's getting there. Okay.
Normally, I wouldn't have done that. I would have pulled back, built the defence a little bit further back, and pushed out tanks. But again, actively trying not to kill the guy. I just think I'll just stop him from killing me just in case.
Okay.
One other thing to note in this patch note is so much I can't forget to say about the bloody patch notes. Buildings, you can't stack them anymore. You can't shift click to add more buildings on top of each other.
Right.
And the way they've done this is once a building has been shift clicked, as you can see there, you can't place another building too close to it. However, the radius of the not too close is massive.
Right.
Like, huge. And it's also not perfectly circular.
Okay.
And the other thing as well, a little bit of a bug, if you click and you can't build there, it doesn't go and then just not let you. It cancels out of your ability to place it. So you have to go click on the building again and then hold down shift and click on the building and so on and so forth.
Is it more of an art than a science at the moment?
Yes, it seems almost random, the size of it. I mean, like, I do get the hang of it, and this is why all my buildings are a lot more spread out than they normally are.
Mm-hmm. But again, spreading out is what we like.
I accidentally kill his radar turret with my radar with my turrets, and he does a little bit of a sad face. So I tell him I'm defending my base. Yellow says he's in the middle of pink and blue, because blue is directly behind him in a dead straight line. We're all in a very straight line. And then I'm in between yellow and white. So he's moaning a bit. He's only having a bit of a play, though. He's not being serious, I don't think. I've only killed a radar.
Yeah, so I think he's okay with that. He probably wouldn't be okay with that if he could see what was going on. Now, this is the satellite network.
Yeah. Again, like to surround my enemies in radar so I know exactly what their armies are doing at every point. I'm starting to think, though, I should have been building scouts out of that air factory. I mean, I'm building quite a few, but I should have been building them a bit quicker. And just occasionally using them just to see into the opponent's bases to see what they're doing. Now, I decide I need to expand to more map, so I start building more air factories.
And at this point, for any conventional player, you could lose pretty much your entire base. Your main base here, your furthest section, you could lose them all independently, and you would still now be building your third, what would be thought of as kind of the third bubble, and would be able to continue on even if all that was destroyed.
Well, the way I think about this is very similar to how Zerg plays in StarCraft 2.
Okay.
It's expand. When you want to expand and mine more minerals, you don't just build a further base away because that's where the minerals are. You also do it because it's going to be a lot harder for them to just come and kill you.
Yeah.
And with Zerg, if you want to play Econ, you go 4-5 base. And I mean, you are allowed to play. You can play a lot greedier at this because static defense is so strong. But I just it feels a lot like Zerg. It feels just like build. Okay, now chuck out a ton of units and all that.
And just keep pumping it and never stop pumping it.
I decided to protect my commander a bit here.
Well, yeah, we do know that snipes, and they could have been building. Someone could have been building bombers this entire period, really.
Or tech to artillery.
Yeah, that would also be
Tech 2
scary.
artillery would have been a bit of a problem, but I've put this next to the water and hoping that he's not making any sea units. So if I do see Tech 2 artillery, I can just run into the water very easily.
Yeah, and the viewers might note that we saw some mainly your unit building has been building towards build capacity. Sorry, engineering units. Are we going to see a switch in the near future?
Not too long now. We will see a switch to start more aggressive units. I'm just building more and more though at the minute. I was playing a bit sloppy. I should have got a second and third vehicle factory out and got these units out quicker. However, because of it, my econ's been very steady.
Well, this is incredibly greedy play.
In fact, as I say that, I've actually built some more and built more build capacity. So
there you go. So it is a greedy build, but again, that's kind of what you're playing for. You knew there was a skill level here.
Yes.
And it's the only way that they were going to get a game, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, in these positions, I probably could have killed him off a lot quicker. Blue might have been a little bit of trouble because he was actually fairly well turtled when I found him. And again, you can't select two different types of build units and give them build commands. You have to do it individually, which is quite annoying. And I'm trying to get them to build, but they're not building properly. Come on. There you go. I'm also... the reason I built that so far away is because I was trying to make sure the range wasn't within range of his factory.
Ah, that's quite sweet.
So it wouldn't just shoot the edges of it. So they are just purely defensive to make sure he can't push into me.
Okay. Now, earlier, viewers, you might have heard Lemming mention that he's not a pro gamer, but I know there's one game that he's very good at. Viewers might see this in the future.
Ominous.
So we're moving on now here to one of the factories, and this is a air factory?
It is indeed air factory. They're building some fabrication airplanes, I think. You know what? Tech 2 bombers.
They're a very good unit.
Yeah.
Tech 2 bomber, good unit.
Good unit.
Good unit.
And then, of course, I've decided to extend my base a bit further.
Just another second sandbag.
Yeah, because you can never have enough sandbag walls.
Never have. But, well, except the second one. You never get through the second one.
But if you have a third one, then you never hit the second one. Unless, of course, you've got Tech 2 bombers.
Okay.
And you want to defend the planet. Which, of course, means sandbag walls,
less effective.
Less effective, yeah.
Fair enough. So we're moving on here to a long period of you literally staring at nothing. What was that?
Unfortunately, at this point, people were actually messaging me on Steam. I meant to log out, but I forgot. So
it's too popular for your own good. You could have lost an entire world.
Well, you have to get your trading fix somewhere.
Fair enough. So we're moving on now to some additional build capacity.
Oh yeah. I've just shift-clicked build capacity here.
And much like a Minecraft biome, you've taken that entire forest area. That is now yours.
Oh yeah, and I just thought expand my base a bit more.
And expand your base a bit more.
I built this with a silly amount of vehicles, and when they just start building, the reason I use Tech 1, not Tech 2, is because you can push it out so quickly when you get mass Tech 1 units. Like, in another game, which I probably will cast at some point soon, I tell him to build about 50 of these things, and they're done in like 3 minutes.
Wow. It's
silly how fast. You could actually outproduce anything else you're doing just in energy buildings and metal, and your economy would just be so stable. Fortunately, I decided not to build the metal and instead build some advanced vehicle factories.
No, that's fair enough. We like vehicle factories.
We do.
I like the moon spinning there. Isn't that beautiful?
It's a very, very pretty game.
Yeah, I really do enjoy it. I think visually it's just stunning. And I think it's going to be really enjoyable to cast. I think the viewers, you guys are really going to be treated to some amazing games when the pros get started.
Yeah. One thing that is a slight change as well is now scout planes actually fly higher than other planes. Only slightly. And that'll probably increase even more, but at the moment they do fly a bit higher, so it means they're less vulnerable to anti-air fire and ground fire firing.
And how less energy to mass versus, let's say, a bomber to a scout?
Energy to mass is really hard to work out because, again, I haven't really tested this. I'm sure there's some incredibly smart people on the forums who already have all these figures written out and know everything, unit databases and whatnot. But I'm pretty sure that they always take the same amount of energy to mass over time. with the factory, but not with individual fabrication boosting units.
Right.
It feels like that, but I haven't really tested it that much.
Because something that's used quite often is if you take an expensive unit and you mix in a cheaper unit to essentially tank, take fire for the other unit. So we could be seeing situations where bombers become particularly dangerous with mixed in with scouts.
Possibly, but only because what you'll be doing is rather than trying to like mix them all in one big group, in one big formation, and just hoping that them let's go. What you'll be doing is you'll fly over with your scouts first, so you divert the shots and the targeting of the turrets.
So the turret physically turns, and it pulls all the turrets off. All the scouts die, and the bombers come in afterwards and just unleash.
Yeah. So it's kind of what you do in Subcom, except in Subcom you do try and just keep it all in one big group and hope. Yeah,
but I think that's again. We've also got to think of. That's very good for a turret-based defence, but the benefit for the wing, of course, is air interception, and that's where the scouts coming in first would be far less effective. So I think that's primarily in Subcom and most games why you have the big bulk rather than the double wing.
Another thing about micro, though, is only less effective if they're using micro. Because
if they're auto-targeting, then
the scouts will just fly straight past. All the interceptors will take off after them.
No, that's a very good point. And again, that brings us back to the point that I just don't get. I'm going to be honest. I love this game. I love strategy games. I'm a massive fan of Supreme Commander, and I'm sure Lemming will agree.
Oh yeah, Supreme Commander, great game.
And pretty much everything I said from that. Oh, we've actually got some combat over here.
Yeah, well, he was invading on my Super Mega Extended base, so I thought, oh, I bet we can't have that.
Is that what we call an invasion to the Super Mega Extended base? Right. Was he probably just going for a 2-second stroll outside his base and found that the rest of the planet
he was building that. He was building that. It's my planet.
Your planet.
Oh, and at this point, I think, I think I have built up enough to justify building some Tech 2 artillery.
Okay.
Especially because they're hitting me now.
Oh, well, that's war, really, isn't it?
Unfortunately, yes, it is. But both players on either side start hitting me with tactical missiles because they don't realise hold fire doesn't work very well as of yet.
Right.
But now this just so happens simultaneously taking out part of my econ.
Now, I think I just saw a group of units selected, possibly for some form of attack run.
Well
now, speaking of
unfortunately, it's not an attack run; it's a scout run.
Oh,
I just wanted to see what it was hitting me because I didn't realise that he's got a lot, and I mean a lot of attack missile launchers there.
Ooh. And we haven't seen much attack missile launcher play throughout this at all, have we?
No, I haven't seen much of it at all. People do favour the Tech 2 artillery.
Was a big thing in Supreme Commander though, so maybe we've got an ex-Supreme Commander player here.
Quite possibly. Although there is no, as far as I can tell, attack missile defence. I don't know whether maybe the nuke defence works on it.
I wouldn't. I believe that only had a maximum amount of 5 that allowed to be in it at any time. Didn't it?
No, I haven't built it yet. It doesn't seem to actually have an amount to build.
Okay.
For missiles. But I'm just scouting, just to see what it is. I know it's all attack missile, and so I think scout around his base, see what other dangers there are. He's got basically nothing.
And yeah, that's the horrific thing here. If you just look at that, look at the colour difference, people, on the map here.
Yeah, he's taken out as much econ of mine as he had. And he's taken out a good chunk of my energy. As you can see, I'm in quite a large deficit now.
Yeah.
But I rectify that pretty quick.
Wow. It's just literally... what was that?
He's just saying the whole fire doesn't work, as I mentioned earlier.
Oh.
Unfortunately, I haven't noticed my energy's in deficit, so I decided to put more build capacity on my tank buildings.
Okay.
And I'm building artillery at the minute.
Oh yeah, you are building that massive artillery field that we saw.
Oh, I know, I'm building artillery vehicles.
Artillery vehicles.
I probably should have done.
I thought we really liked the Tech 2 artillery.
We do, but I'm favouring more the tanks now because people are starting to micro against the artillery, so the shots aren't hitting as much as they should. I know, they're using skill now. It's just not fair. So I switched all my air factories into starting to do bombers because I think it's best defence, but I've also got Tech 2 things going on. I've got that artillery being built, which once that's built, he's on to chance, to be honest. That's endgame for him. Especially because he's not going to be able to push into it.
Okay.
Oh wait, oh it is built. There you go.
Oh,
I'm building a second one now.
But I really would like to see some fast games in the future, because I think it'd just give a different angle on it. Because look at this economy. We know you can build economy.
Yeah, I will try and do some fast games. The problem is, it's like the beginning can be very fast, but then it's holding out till the middle and the end. So I decided to try and have a look at what he's doing. He's still pounding my economy hard, and my artillery is firing into him though. So I decided, you know what, let's try and do some damage to make sure we can't push into that artillery.
Right.
So if he can't take down the artillery, he has well and truly lost.
Fair enough.
He's got quite a bit.
And you're also buying time for your artillery as well.
Oh yes, definitely.
Once you've got 3 up, really, even if he pushes out with a decent force, you could hold it off with the static defense you've already got there.
Yep, and down goes his radar in a second. There you go.
That was unfortunate for him and badly placed. And
Yep.
is there a redundant system?
Nope. So he's unable to start to take out my bases long range stuff anymore.
And again, we see the benefit of multiple buildings spread out over a long section of map.
Yeah, he does still have these 10 missile launchers, which are causing a bit of a problem. He really wasn't expecting me to come around this side though.
Yeah, there seems to be not a great concept of attack paths from a lot of players at the moment.
It's such an odd concept to be able to, no matter what you position, be attacked on all sides. Graphical glitch there, just ignore that. It doesn't happen very often. But yeah, people just don't seem to quite understand that no matter where you are on the map, you can always be attacked from all sides.
Mm-hmm.
My economy still hasn't been fixed.
Look at the amount of dragging, the way you're just spinning the map constantly, and you're having to do this at a regular interval. And that's, whoa, it's a commander gone down.
Nope.
No?
Nope, that was a nuke. I thought it was my commander where I went down, and I realised he's over there.
Right.
It's a nuke. However, nukes only seem to do... they only do 1 damage, but they do seem to do a lot more damage than just 1 to the direct unit they hit.
Right.
Unfortunately, Spade didn't know that, and while I was looking at that, I killed the opponent's commander with my artillery by accident.
Now, what's going on here in what exploded?
I say sorry for killing him. He says I watch, there's no problem. So I'm still building lots and lots of Tech 2 bombers and whatnot, and this game isn't long lasting now, I don't believe, because he's already attacked me. He's declared war.
Now, actually, one of the players that's dropped the nuke thinks he killed the commander.
Quite possibly.
Because he just referred to that he did it there. But he might think that the explosion they were referring to was him.
But my commander's well
defended.
Well defended.
In the Fortress of Doom.
And well away from my base as well, so they're unlikely to even bother going over there to have a look. I probably could have put it a bit further over so it wouldn't be hit by his Tech 2 radar in his base, but I still don't think it will.
They have told me of an immortal line that I am looking forward to in this. And here we go for a little scout. We see what it's got.
I don't have this commander straight away.
Oh, that's nice of you.
I just wanted to see, what's there.
Look, he's gone. He's a screen. That's sweet.
And so I take out his missile launchers. Just random explosion. He tries to nuke my units at the front again, but again, nukes aren't working properly in the game.
Again, I was a little mean there. It is difficult for the new players that haven't had a lot of experience in the game. You've played a lot of games.
Yeah, I've played a lot of games. I know most of the bugs at this point.
But there's a little bit of...
Well, technically, the nukes aren't a bug, they're a feature, as it was actually an update.
A feature in progress. Oh.
Yeah, unfortunately, they hit the metal extractor just in front of him.
And that's a beautiful thing there. You can target a unit, guys, but and this is a huge thing of SOPCOM, again, of ground targeting, knowing that there's going to be a bit of shot lag or a building.
Yep.
And again, they're saying that they're going to take micro out of the game, but I just don't see
You have to go in from the exact direction, otherwise you are going to...
I just don't see how you can have the features they want and take out the concept of micro.
Yeah, the micro is going to be so intensive, because you're going to have to do it with multiple planets.
Yeah.
And if you want to be the top, macro is going to be very important. And I have said before, I still think that if you can out macro someone like 2-1, you are always going to win the games. But The micro is going to be so important.
I don't necessarily agree with you. Bar the water trick. Oh, what's going on here?
He says, I was just investigating with long-range weaponry. Just saying,
Right.
he's checking it out. They say, fair enough, you two taking out a chunk of where you got to had to attack.
Now that might not be strictly true.
It's a chunk of my energy. Well, I'll say a chunk.
That might.
I still had a lot more than they did.
You have had a deficit for a while, which is not like you.
Yeah, I wasn't quick in rebuilding it at all.
Oh, someone's being cheeky again.
But I didn't think it mattered, really.
Oh, wow. Is that...
No, that's all Tech 1 anti-air.
Okay.
So, no, that's not Tech 2. I didn't build that many Tech 2 vehicles this game.
Okay.
Mainly some engine solo. But I have got an awful lot of Tech 2 bombers.
You got a finished Tech 2 artillery there, which is quite sweet.
Well, there's no point finishing it.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
dead.
already dead.
And it's not... Yeah, he's got a Tech 2.
Oh, is that walls as well?
Yeah, he's built walls. Walls are ludicrously powerful. At this point, purple, which means pink, he's talking about me. I believe in a second he says something. I can't remember.
Here it is, purple. He gives the the unbelieved face.
I give a question mark.
Sorry if this chair's squeaking for you viewers.
Oh.
Dat base. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the title, I think, of this game.
Yep.
Dat base.
But yeah, wall sections, by the way, really powerful, and they screw up targeting because everything wants to shoot the walls first.
Oh yeah. So, do you think we're going to get a similar thing?
GG.
Beautiful. Do you think we're going to get a similar thing that we had in Subcom, where you put walls around the mass extractors to protect them early on, or around turrets to protect them early on?
Quite possibly, but because of the way that artillery guns fire, I suspect things are going to start shooting over the walls quite easily, especially on the point defense, which is very tall.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
So I'm worried about how effective walls are going to be as anything else but a blocking tool, like Dragon's Teeth were.
Right. Okay. So do you think that's what they're actually intending for the item?
I think the Dragon's Teeth is meant to be really, really strong, so they're hard to kill, but not actually block shots that much, except for the very short units, very early stuff.
Okay.
So, but again, targeting on them at the minute is messed up.
Right, fair enough. Well, it's been a brilliant game, guys, and we've really enjoyed it. And if you want to comment or like, we'd really appreciate it. And tell us what more you want to see.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. So I've been Surreal Lemming.
And I've been Morgwai.
And we are signing out.
Signing out.